Hey guys, this is Coach Adrienne here, and I just wanted to share something with you and in my personal development readings that I had today, and that thing is failure. I think that a lot of people fail to realize that you have to actually go through failure to get better or become more successful or to make a realization in your life so that you can continue forward, moving forward towards your goals. And one of the things that I like to compare failure to is, for example, touching a hot pot on the stove. You've touched it once and it burned your hand, right? And in the future, you learn not to touch the hot pot again, correct? Well, the reason why you do that is because you learned from a mistake. You made a mistake by touching a hot pot. And so now you know when you come near a pot, you're not going to touch it again because you remember the pain you felt from touching that hot pot. Well, the same thing goes with failure, and I've realized that it's happened many times in my life, and it was kind of an epiphany for me because I realized that it actually has to do with failure has to do with so many different parts of my life, not just in my business and in my coaching other people. It has to do with the personal parts of my life too. For example, I made a list here. When I call my time that I hit rock bottom, that was when I divorced my ex-husband, and I went through a depression, and I had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. And at that point in my life, I hit rock bottom. I felt like a loser. I felt like a failure in life. I felt like I made a huge mistake. But I know now that had I not gone through that, I would not be where I am today. And I think back to what I would be like had I not gone through that. I think it's imperative that we go through those rough patches in our life. It's important because, and as much as it sucks to stay stuck down there, because I was in that rock bottom phase for about a year, maybe even two, before I found my way back. It's imperative to go through that because when we break like that and we become just so vulnerable to other people, that's what makes us stronger. That's what makes us grow a thick skin again, kind of like a snake. They shed their old skin. That's exactly what going through rock bottom was like for me. And that's when I found fitness. And it's crazy how everything comes full circle, but that's when I found fitness. Fitness is what made me feel better physically and mentally. Fitness and exercise made me feel better. I mean, obviously that's what doctors recommend, and that's why I became a Beachbody coach, is because of my love for fitness, and I wanted to help other people experience what I experienced when I discovered how fitness helped my life, and in more ways than just looking good. People think that fitness is just about looking good, and it's not. Well, another way in my life, looking back, that I turned a bad situation into good was when, back in the day, I remember looking back and I used to get really, really angry. Specifically when I was with my ex-boyfriend, I remember I would always go for the TV remote. I don't know why it was a TV remote, but it was just there and I could pick it up and I could throw it across the room. I would literally just chunk it across the room because I was so mad. I would let my frustrations and my emotions get the best of me because I didn't know how else to do it. I mean, I guess it was from watching my dad get mad and he would throw things in the house too. But I learned now that when I get angry, that you can actually choose your emotions. You can actually decide not to be angry. The root of anger is actually fear. And when you're angry, you're actually fearing something. For example, in my relationship back then, when I would throw the remote, I was actually angry because I was afraid of losing my boyfriend at the time. So I would get angry and show my frustration that way. When you start thinking and realizing, the root of why you become the way you are, that's when you actually have more control of your life. So now when I get angry, actually I don't get angry. I get upset, but I don't ever get angry. Not enough to want to chuck a TV remote across the room. But I feel like I'm more in control of my feelings because I know where those emotions stem from. And once you start studying where your emotions stem from, you feel happier and more positive and more in control of your life. So now things that don't make sense to me, like if I have a disagreement with my boyfriend in my relationship, I sit down and talk to him about it. And we may still not agree on it, but we can agree to disagree. It may not resolve everything, but the point of talking it out is to not be upset anymore. Because in my opinion, there's no point in being upset about something, especially if you can't come to an agreement about it. There are many things that my boyfriend and I don't agree on, but that's okay. Not everybody is going to agree with everything that you believe in. So in my opinion, it's more important to spend time doing things that you enjoy instead of being angry or chunking the remote across the room and spending hours and even days being unhappy. It's just, there's no reason for it. I'd rather be happy and positive. So another thing that I discovered was when I did divorce my ex-husband, I realized that I went through hitting rock bottom, but I also, when I was coming back up and I became a Beachbody coach, I started reading personal development, and personal development is what helped me discover more about myself and actually, fix things about myself that I didn't like. And of course, there's a lot of things that we learn growing up, and a lot of it we pick up, when we are children, we pick it up from our parents because our parents are our first teachers. And not a lot of times do we actually learn the right way to become an adult. Not blaming our parents at all. I'm just saying we may pick up things, either they teach us a certain way and we just don't pick it up the way they're meant to be taught, or there are certain actions our parents did that made us shy or forced us to be more self-conscious than others. Whatever characteristic it may be that you grew up with as a child can be fixed later on. And yes, we do need to work on our self improvement every day. I think that learning, and I didn't learn this until afterwards, but learning should happen every single day. We should constantly be learning. And I'm not talking about learning it's cool to learn new language, but what I'm talking more about is self-discovery, learning things about how you act and how you respond to people, and learning reasons why other people respond and react the way that they do. And just being more self-aware makes you more happy and more positive. And the more positivity you throw out into the world is how much you get back. So if you're unhappy, you're displaying that to other people, and that's what those people, you're attracting the kind of people that act the same way as you. And that's why you're living a life of unhappiness, is because you're giving off negative or unhappy vibes, and those vibes are attracting other people just like you. So if you want to be happy, you've got to throw out those happy and positive vibes so that you can attract those kind of friends in your life and surround yourself with those same type of people. One of the last things I wanted to talk about that I thought about today was that, and I posted this on Facebook not too long ago, but it was that for many years after my divorce, of course, I dated many guys, and I dated guys that were of different ethnicities. I dated guys that were into fitness, that were not into fitness, that had kids, that didn't have kids, that were single dads, or guys that had just pets. I dated guys that were both skinny, they were overweight, some were even like gym rats. Some ate healthy like I did, some did not. Some ate even cleaner than I did, and it kind of freaked me out. But I think that my point is the reason why I dated so many guys, well, one, I couldn't find one that really matched with me, to be honest with you. And for a long time I thought that there was something wrong with me. But later I discovered, and unfortunately a long time later, I discovered that there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. There's only one of me. There's only one of you in this world. And that's what makes life so great, is there's only one of us in this world. I may have a doppelganger out there somewhere that looks like me, but she doesn't act like me. She doesn't have my personality, my characteristics, nothing. I'm the only one of me out there. And it's okay to date several people. For you, it's okay to date several people, and it's okay if you're single for many years, as long as you're happy. You've got to love yourself first. But the discovery, or the thing that I thought was bad about dating so many people, was people thought that, there must have been something wrong with me for me not to have found somebody. Here I am in my mid to late 30s and I'm still single. Well, sure enough, Joel, my current boyfriend, comes into my life, and I think that the reason why he came into my life is because, like I was telling you earlier, I threw off those vibes. I throw off those positive, happy vibes, and that's the kind of people that were attracted to me. And I think that's what drew him to me, was that I was so happy and positive, and that's the kind of people that I wanted to surround myself with. And I, even though I dated so many bad or wrong guys for me, because I dated them, I knew what I didn't want anymore. I knew what kind of guy, not that there was anything wrong with those guys, they just weren't right for me. The characteristics that they had, the way they looked like, the things that they did, those were all things that I wasn't looking for in a guy that I wanted to be with. And it may sound selfish, but, if you're going to choose a partner, you have to be absolutely selfish. You have to be picky about what you want in that person. So I think it's very important to see all the different makes and models of the cars that you're the perfect car that you want to drive, and you've got to get in there and drive the car and feel it out. Talk to them, experience different guys so that you know what you don't want in order to find the right person that you do want to spend your time with. And I was just mind blown when I thought about that the other day, because I would not have picked Joel had I not known what to be looking for. Like I said in my Facebook post, I kind of sort of knew what I was looking for, and I didn't pinpoint it until I actually found what I was looking for, if that makes sense. So when I found Joel, he was everything that, I had been pretty much looking for, and even more. So that wraps up what I'm basically trying to explain here, is that I think it's important to go through negative times in your life, go through rock bottom, go through bad experiences, going through mistakes, experiencing failure in your life. I think all of that is important. So if you're going through that right now, or if you experience that in your life, just remember that it's always going to get better. You're never going to be in a valley. Life is an experience of valleys and peaks always. So even if you do go through a great experience, just like me, I know that I'm going to go through probably another rock bottom, or another mistake in my future, or another bad experience, many bad experiences probably. But I think that if we grasp onto the fact that, or be prepared for those experiences, we're going to be better suited up, better, more ready for that, and live life prepared, and be happier, and have more control over our destiny. If we know that those bad experiences are going to happen, they're very important. So this is Coach Adrienne, and I hope this helps you. Hope you have a great day.